鸡，鸡宜，吉，鸡宜，己，鸡翼，记，鸡，吉，己，记，气，滋滋，滋子，滋子，子，字，滋，字，思，知，直，直，止，知，止，知，治，知，止，治。
我是陈老师，到 Chinese. So today we want to talk about three very difficult, for me anyway, for Hong Kong people and for especially southern Guangdong and places like that. I don't know about north, but I find Ji. This one Ji is and Z and Zhi. These three. Z. Now, remember, Hanyu Pinyin have three things involved, and come up with what we call yin jie syllable, initial, final, and tones, and then become the syllable, and then syllable contains Chinese characters. And I don't know how the people would learn unless they're extremely clever with their ears. And why I found out that I wrote this book because I spent a lot of money trying to learn it from a teacher, but it didn't work. Now I'm stupid for sure, but most people are stupid. When you're over 12 years old, it's so hard to hear. And also you're from the South, your parents, your friends all talk with strong accents. There's no way. So I found out that in order to learn, we have to know initial, where the tip of your tongue is relative to your teeth. So for Ji, tip of your tongue is on the back of your lower teeth, and then Yi, the final Y-I-E-E, is also at the bottom of your teeth. So it's much easier, Ji. And then of course on the Ji, the first one is tip of your tongue, and then the blade of your tongue is touching hard palate. And then between hard palate and the tongue, you create a gap there, let the air come out. Ji, Ji, the Ji, the Ji, Ji, Ji. E is because of the tone. So, do, re, mi, fa, so, the first tone. Ji. So you have to elongate it. So the duration there, because since 1958, the first tone is 5-5. It means so. It's not so. Ji, not the chicken. Ji. There's a lot of Chinese words here. Ji, and then the Ji. Do you understand how it works? So Ji, J at the beginning very short, and then E is with the tone. So after the final is longer with the tone. So Ji, and they come up with the syllable, and then the syllable with Chinese words. All right. So no problem so far. But then the problem comes when you come to this one, Z. So because now remember, Z is the initial. It has to touch the upper back or upper tip, like touch and go, z, z, z. And then once you have the z, and then with the E sound, E is what? Because instead of tip of tongue touch back lower teeth like a G, this one is just as you touch the back of your teeth, the tongue, and then you say the word E, the Z, so Z, Z, so Z, Z, so Z, so Z, Z 版, so Z, Z 版, Z 版, Z, Z. You understand? So the I is called I1. This is I1. The first one, G is I. This one, I1. Now, the Chinese school, they lump it together, G, so that is called 整成硬读. 整成硬读 in the G, Z, 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 they not separate the initial and final. Now what happened would be Z and then become the initial become the final, and it's very difficult to separate it from the I mean, I'm from the Canton, Hong Kong. It's very difficult to separate it. Z, 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 Z. It's very difficult to do that if you do not do the ping, ping du. If you don't separate it, because you don't know whether initial is wrong or final is wrong. Okay, so because other than E have U, it's U, Ju, Ju, so they're different, all right? And then finally, the Zhi, the E, Zhi, Zhi. This one, of course, that's the touching tip of the tongue. CH is the beginning tip of the tongue touch the gum line, upper teeth gum line, between the gum line and the hard palate there. Zhi, zhi, ri. So zhi, so it's I2. Ri, is pronounced ri, not E. Not E, not ri, ri. So in professional pronunciation, you'll hear that, right? Zhi, 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 the zhi, zhi, zhi. Now, there are a lot of people in the West, because I don't know who begins it, because everybody follow. They say CHI is equal to CH. No, it's not. It's not true, because CHI is initial. E is final. They are separate. They are separate, can be separate. Otherwise, that's why in Hong Kong, in the southern China, the people very difficult to say zhi, 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 because zhi, 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 because so you forgot that, because there's no way you can do that if you lump it together. So that is this one thing I find. This book is really helped me to distinguish it, and then of course then once you learn it and then you memorize it and repeat it over and over again, then you can learn. Then you can learn. I repeat it again. Then you can learn, because the system. But if you're not doing that, if you just listen to the guys downstairs, they all talk to you, they all say you're wrong. Especially foreigners, you're wrong. So what's right? Because you don't have a ruler. You don't have a rule to measure. But now you have something to measure with it. And then I strongly recommend it. Not because I wrote it, because I wrote it for myself, actually. Now I got it. Now you say, well, you speak not that good. No, wait a minute. Because the Chinese, I write very good Chinese calligraphy and the Chinese words. I wrote a book on on Chinese. So, and I can stand against anybody saying my Chinese is no good. But maybe my speaking not as good. But again, because it's just like in English, because your group, you have your own way of talking, and then suddenly you use the proper English, that's the Queen's English, and then so, well, you're outplaced. But again, if you don't learn this system, there's no way you can quick it. Just well, you need to slow it down first, and then you then do it quick. The other way around now is they do it very quick, and then 2 words put it together, and then say. Then another person 谢了吧 say 不用谢 and suddenly you get lost because you don't have the system, you don't have the method, you don't have the methodology. You just memorize, stuck with it, and then your friends can understand you with only a few words and they get lost. But anyway, hey, this is for you. Okay, so thank you very much. I love you from Yang Song.